For most Canadians, fighter jets seem distant, more Hollywood than reality. They're often seen as symbols of action movies or distant wars, not something that directly impacts daily life here at home. But these aircraft form a vital shield, protecting our vast land and Arctic frontiers. They are the first line of defense against potential threats, whether from the air or across our borders, and they play a crucial role in keeping Canadians safe. Canada's immense territory and three-ocean coastline demand constant vigilance, not just for city defense, but to assert sovereignty in the increasingly strategic Arctic. As climate change opens new shipping routes and global interest in the Arctic grows, our ability to patrol and protect these remote regions becomes even more important. Our air defense is deeply tied to NORAD, the joint command with the U.S. that unifies North American airspace security. This partnership means that Canada and the United States work side by side, sharing information and resources to monitor and respond to any aerial threats. Seamless communication and interoperability with American jets are essential. Any gap could compromise continental defense. Our pilots train together, fly together, and must be able to respond instantly as a unified force. As a NATO member, Canada must also contribute to global missions, requiring jets compatible with key allies. Our commitments abroad, from peacekeeping to deterrence, depend on having aircraft that can operate alongside those of our partners. A modern fighter fleet signals Canada's commitment to its alliances and its readiness to defend its interests. It shows our allies and adversaries alike that we are prepared to meet today's security challenges. With the aging CF-18S nearing retirement, the choice of their successor will shape Canada's military and geopolitical standing for decades. The decision isn't just about hardware, it's about the future of our national defense and our place in the world. This is more than a purchase, it's a defining investment in Canada's security and international role. The fighter jets we choose today will help determine how we protect our people, uphold our sovereignty, and fulfill our commitments for generations to come. At the center of Canada's fighter jet debate stands the Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II, a symbol of cutting-edge technology and modern air power. This aircraft has become the focal point of discussions about the future of Canada's Air Force, representing both the promise of advanced capabilities and the challenges of high-stakes military procurement. The F-35 is widely regarded as the world's most advanced multi-role combat aircraft, capable of performing a wide range of missions, from air superiority to ground attack and intelligence gathering, thanks to its versatile design and state-of-the-art systems. Its stealth profile, sensor fusion, and real-time data sharing make it a true flying quarterback, coordinating complex operations and giving pilots and commanders unmatched battlefield awareness. The F-35's ability to gather, process, and share information instantly is a game-changer for modern warfare. Canada's F-35 journey began back in 2010, but the path was anything but smooth. Political controversy, shifting government priorities, and persistent concerns over cost and industrial benefits led to years of debate and delay, leaving the future of Canada's fighter fleet uncertain. After a lengthy and competitive review process, Canada finally committed in 2023 to purchasing 88 F-35s for $19 billion. This major investment aims to modernize the Royal Canadian Air Force, ensure interoperability with key allies, and secure Canada's place in the next generation of air defense. Nearly all of Canada's closest partners, including the United States, United Kingdom, and Australia, have already integrated the F-35 into their fleets. This common platform makes joint operations, training, and logistics far simpler and more effective, strengthening alliances and collective security. For a country with a relatively small military, plugging into this global F-35 network is a true force multiplier. It allows Canada to contribute meaningfully to international missions, respond rapidly to emerging threats, and benefit from shared technology and support. The F-35 is set to replace the aging CF-18S starting in 2026, promising a dramatic leap in capability for Arctic patrols, NORAD commitments, and NATO deployments. Its advanced sensors and range are especially valuable for Canada's vast and challenging northern territories. For a moment, it seemed Canada's long and often contentious fighter jet saga was finally drawing to a close, ushering in a new era for the nation's Air Force and its role on the world stage. Just as Canada signed the F-35 deal, the program hit turbulence. Major delays and cost overruns surfaced. The critical Block 4 upgrade, essential for Canada's needs, was 5 years late and billions over budget, with key features cut. Lockheed Martin's production line was also behind, delaying deliveries worldwide. With doubts mounting, a new Canadian government announced a sweeping review of the $19 billion deal in 2025. Officially, it was about value for taxpayers. Unofficially, it reopened the door to alternatives. The review shocked defense circles, signaling Canada might pivot away from the F-35 and reconsider its entire strategy. Suddenly, the fighter jet decision was back in play with the possibility of a radical shift on the horizon. As F-35 doubts grew, Sweden's Saab Gripen E re-emerged as a serious contender. The Gripen is efficient, reliable, and designed for harsh northern conditions, able to operate from short improvised runways, ideal for Canada's Arctic. Saab's pitch went beyond the jet. They offered to build Gripens in Canada, promising technology transfer, high-tech jobs, and industrial independence. For a government wary of U.S. dependence, a domestic production line was a powerful draw. The Gripen's lifetime cost is far lower than the F-35's, potentially saving Canada tens of billions over decades. In 2025, a new Canada-Sweden defense agreement signaled Ottawa was seriously considering a shift. The leading proposal keeps 16 F-35s already ordered, but replace the rest with Canadian-built Gripens. This hybrid fleet promised both advanced capability and economic benefits. News of Canada's possible F-35 pullback triggered immediate concern in Washington. U.S. officials were quick to recognize the potential ripple effects, not just for military operations, but for the broader relationship between the two countries. The F-35 program is a cornerstone of North American defense planning, and any uncertainty around Canada's participation sent shockwaves through the Pentagon and Capitol Hill. For the U.S., the F-35 is the backbone of Western air defense and NORAD's seamless interoperability. It's not just a fighter jet, it's a symbol of shared security commitments and technological leadership among allies. American officials warned that mixing in Swedish Gripens could create vulnerabilities in North American defense. Integrating a non-American platform would mean new training, new logistics, and potential gaps in the continent's air shield. The F-35's secure data links are designed for instant, reliable communication, something hard to replicate with non-American jets. These advanced systems allow pilots and commanders to share information in real time, a critical advantage in modern warfare. A split fleet would complicate joint operations not just for NORAD but for NATO missions as well. It could slow down response times, create confusion in the heat of battle, and undermine years of progress in allied integration. The U.S. also worried about the economic impact, as Canadian industry is deeply involved in F-35 production. Thousands of Canadian jobs and billions in contracts could be at risk if Canada stepped away from the program. Washington made it clear this was more than a procurement issue. It was about the future of the alliance. The decision would send a message about Canada's commitment to collective defense and its role on the world stage. Any move away from the F-35 could strain the most important defense relationship Canada has. The trust built over decades of cooperation could be put to the test. The stakes were now as much about politics and trust as about technology. For both countries, the outcome would shape not only their military future, but the very fabric of their partnership for years to come. Donald Trump's return to the White House in 2025 added volatility to the F-35 debate. His America First stance and new tariffs on Canadian goods heightened fears of U.S. leverage over Canada's military. The F-35's deep integration with U.S. logistics made some Canadians worry about potential American control. Rumors of a kill switch only fueled anxiety. The jet's reliance on U.S.-managed software and supply chains was seen as a vulnerability. In tense meetings, Trump implied the F-35 deal was a test of Canada's loyalty, not just a business transaction. For Ottawa, the dilemma was stick with the F-35 and risk sovereignty, or pivot and risk U.S. retaliation. The Gripen, built in Canada, became a symbol of independence. The fighter jet choice was now a question of national autonomy as much as defense. The split fleet, F-35s and Gripens, seemed a clever compromise, but experts warned of major pitfalls. Operating two advanced jet types would double training, maintenance, and logistics costs. Pilots and crews would need separate pipelines, simulators, and support systems, straining resources. Warehouses would stock two supply chains and maintenance crews couldn't easily switch between jets. This complexity could end up costing more than a single fleet, while reducing flexibility and combat effectiveness. Deploying to NATO missions would force tough choices. Send F-35s for interoperability, or Gripens for numbers. The RCF risked being split in two, with neither fleet fully optimized. In trying to get the best of both worlds, Canada might end up with a compromised force. As the deadline looms, Canada faces a defining choice, one that will shape its security, economy, and alliances for generations. The decision is no longer just about jets, it's about Canada's identity and its place in the world. Will Canada prioritize integration with the U.S. and NATO, or chart a more independent path with domestic industry? The outcome will determine where high-tech jobs land, how defense dollars are spent, and how Canada is seen by its allies. The RCAF can't wait much longer. Further delays risk leaving Canada exposed and damaging its reputation. Sticking with the F-35 means accepting delays and U.S. pressure. Switching to Gripen means logistical challenges and possible U.S. backlash. The government must weigh sovereignty against alliance, cost against capability. The world is watching to see which path Canada will choose.